Hi, fellow exhibitors, event planners, and business owners. I'm Chantal from Authentic Exhibits, and today I'm here to talk about material handling. I know, you're probably wondering what is material handling, why is it so expensive, and how can you reduce this cost? This is an important topic, as I'm sure many of you feel like this is a huge cost every time you exhibit. And again, you're continually under pressure to cut your budget from senior leadership. So let's get into it. Simply put, material handling or drayage is a fancy word for the trade show industry. It's basically the cost for pre-storing your freight in a general contractor's warehouse, moving your shipments to the convention, storing the crates, which are empty, and redelivering them and reloading them into outbound carriers once the show's over. Everyone has to ship something to a trade show, and these guys have dissected and crafted this so well in order to get every dime out of you. Trust me. I dislike it as much as you do, but it's non-negotiable. And if you don't pay it, they will leave your freight on the asphalt outside the convention center and you will not get it back. I have seen that happen before and it is not fun. So if you're ever looking at a show manual or your exhibitor portal, you will see material handling rates and the shipping labels for each one. Let's first look at the measurements they use to weigh your items, starting with CWT, referred to as a hundredweight. CWT is a standard unit of weight or mass used in certain commodities markets. In North America, CWT is still used today to measure exhibit freight. Typically, most general contractors would charge a fee per 100 pounds. But it seems since COVID passed, most general contractors now charge a dollar amount per pound, anywhere from 90 cents per pound to as high as $5.75. So make sure to pay close attention to these rates. Now let's look at the material handling rates and what you need to understand. 1. Advanced warehouse. This is when your freight is stored at the general contractor's warehouse in advance, then delivered to the show for move-in and setup. This is the cheapest rate assigned to your freight that you want to take advantage of. It's basically asking you to plan your booth, pack and ship it well in advance of the show to their warehouse. 2, show site. This is basically when your freight arrives directly to the convention center on the day of your target move-in date. Depending on the size of your booth, the show will assign you a target move-in date. The date you get is when your truck can arrive to deliver your stuff. Please consider the following consequences using this option. Note 1. Be aware the rate per pound is higher than the advanced warehouse rate, and your truck might get held up by other trucks arriving in the marshaling yard, which can further delay your freight delivery to your booth, driving up additional shipping charges for wait times. I have experienced this, and a simple freight delivery doubled in price due to waiting almost 4 hours. Note 2, if you've hired labor to build your booth at 9 a.m. and your freight is still held up, then you're also paying for labor on the clock, and not to mention, it could be overtime, double overtime, many things to consider here. So just be very careful how you plan your logistics in correlation to your booth building. 3, hanging sign. So this might be helpful if your booth has a hanging sign. Sometimes people pre-order a new sign and it typically might ship separate from the booth. The show assigns a receiving window, just like Advanced Warehouse, to receive any hanging signs. Using this also helps to save you on time and cost because they will hang your sign well in advance, alleviating this part of your booth build. This is something you might want to take advantage of. There might also be a reduction in labor rates if done at this early time. So you might want to check your manual or call and ask your general contractor what the policy is. Additionally, here are 5 more important tips to save on your material handling costs. 1, make sure you check the dates they start accepting freight and when the cutoff date is for Advanced Warehouse. This is the most affordable rate per 100 pounds or CWT. 2, make sure you check the warehouse hours for your freight delivery. Some might charge you an extra fee or an overtime or double overtime rate if delivered after 4 p.m. 3, make sure your freight is skidded and crated. That means sitting on an actual shipping crate and shrink wrapped or strapped up well without loose pieces, or else they will charge you a fee to secure it. 4, if you don't have that much stuff to ship or won't be using a crate but will be shipping smaller boxes, try to consolidate as many items as possible into a few boxes. General contractors will charge you a fee per box. Check to see what that fee is, or else it can add up at $65 per box. 5, this is a good one to know. How do you calculate your total material handling costs? You might not know exactly what an entire crate weighs, but here is some advice. Let's say you have a 20 by 20 booth and it takes about 2 crates to store all the booth's pieces. A typical crate size is 95 by 48 by 60 and includes about half of the booth's materials if split equally among the two. So let's say each crate weighs about 1,100 pounds. That's a total of 2,200 pounds multiplied by the advanced warehouse rate of $1.90 per pound. And that would give you a total cost of $3,800 for your material handling. As mentioned, try to get everything into your crates early and any other lingering items like promotional or swag items in the crate as well, so they're not charging you an additional fee per box on top of the crate costs. And on a final note, having a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 20 booth might keep your costs at a reasonable level as far as the show service costs go. I offer solutions that help facilitate lowering your show service costs, which don't compromise on quality, and you can find these on AuthenticExhibits.com. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day. Bye.